Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to tackle one of the most critical financial challenges for any catering business, and we're going to break down exactly how to solve it. We're going to show you how to turn your books from, this source of confusion into what's basically your most powerful strategic tool. All right, let's just jump right in with a question. And honestly, this is a question that stumps a ton of really successful caterers. You're busy, revenue looks good, but can you point to a specific event on your calendar and say with 100% certainty how profitable it really was? So check this out. This is a super common scenario. You've got the Martinez wedding, a big, beautiful event bringing in over $12,000. And then you've got the Goldman corporate lunch, a much smaller gig at just over $3,000. Now, on paper, the wedding looks like the clear winner, right? But was it? I mean, once you factor in all the premium ingredients, the extra staff, the equipment rentals, yeah, that picture gets real murky real fast. You see, not being able to see profit on a per event basis, that's not just some small issue. It is the single biggest financial blind spot in the entire catering industry. Seriously, it's the gap between just working hard and actually working smart. And when you're operating in that blind spot, believe me, there are serious consequences. You end up quoting new clients based on a gut feeling instead of hard data. You have no real idea which of your menu packages are your profit drivers. And that overall food cost percentage at the end of the month, it just feels like a total mystery. I mean, you're essentially flying blind. So what's really interesting here is that this problem, it's not always about bad management. Not at all. It's actually a fundamental mismatch between how catering really works day to day and how traditional accounting software is just set up right out of the box. Just think about it for a second. A client books a big wedding with you in January, but the event isn't until June. They pay a deposit right then, another payment in May, and then the final balance on the day of. So your money and your costs, they're spread out over like half a year for just one event. Okay, so here's the absolute crucial point. That deposit money you get way back in January, it's not actually income. Not yet. In the accounting world, it's a liability, and it's called deferred revenue. You haven't really earned it until that last plate is cleared in June. And if you recognize it as income too early, oh man, you are completely distorting your financial picture. So, how do we fix this whole mess? Well, the good news is the solution isn't about, going back to school for an accounting degree. It's all about putting a really clear, three-pillar system into place, a system that finally aligns your books with the reality of your business. And those pillars are structure, track, and automate. All right, let's kick things off with pillar one, structure. Think of this as the foundation for everything else. It's all about setting up your accounting software, we're talking QuickBooks here, to actually work for your catering business instead of against it. So what does that look like? Well, first, it means you're going to use the projects feature to create like a digital folder for every single event. And I mean every event, no exceptions. Then you're going to customize your chart of accounts with categories that actually make sense for catering. And finally, you'll use classes to tag events by type, right? So you can easily compare all your weddings against all your corporate gigs. Okay, so once you've got that solid structure in place, we move on to the second pillar. And this one's all about discipline. It's about meticulously tracking every single dollar that flows in and out for each and every event. This right here, this is the golden rule. It's the non-negotiable heart of this entire system. Every food purchase, every hour of labor, every rental, every single cost has to be digitally tagged to the specific event project it belongs to inside QuickBooks. And just to be super clear about the level of detail we're talking about, that invoice from your food supplier, it needs to be split up and assigned to the specific events you bought those ingredients for. The hours your staff worked at the Martinez wedding, tagged to that project. The linen rentals, the gas for the van, you get the idea. Everything gets tagged. All right, so you've structured your books, you're diligently tracking your costs. Now for pillar 3. And honestly, this is where the magic really happens. This is the part where we stop spending hours and hours buried in spreadsheets, and instead we leverage modern tools like AI to do all that heavy lifting for us. So by connecting all that beautifully organized QuickBooks data to an AI assistant, something like Claude, you can completely shift from just data entry to, actual data strategy. Instead of manually crunching all those numbers, you can just ask for the insights you need, just like this. The AI does all the work, and it turns her raw data into a strategic report in, like, seconds. So what's the actual payoff here? What do you get for implementing this whole 3-pillar system?
Well, it's nothing short of a complete transformation. You literally go from just guessing about your business's health to knowing it with absolute certainty.
Okay, so this is what the before picture looks like for most caterers. It's a standard monthly profit and loss statement. Yeah, it tells you your total revenue and total expenses, but look, it completely hides the real story of what actually happened that month. It just gives you an average, and in the catering world, the average is pretty much meaningless.
And this is the after. This is a profitability matrix. I mean, just look at that clarity. You can see the exact revenue, the precise food and labor cost percentages, and the final net margin for every single event. The mystery is totally gone. And now you can see clear as day that the smaller Goldman lunch actually had a higher net margin than that big Martinez wedding.
Okay, but what happens when we zoom out? What if we apply this data on a bigger scale? Well, you get the big picture. This chart, which is generated right from your per-event data, shows you so clearly that your corporate events are, on average, your most profitable line of business. Now, that is a game-changing insight that should immediately change how you think about your sales and marketing.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. By structuring your books the right way, diligently tracking every single cost to a specific event, and then using automation for the analysis, you get true financial control. You're no longer just an amazing chef or a brilliant event planner. You are a strategic business operator.
So, there you have it. That's the roadmap. The complete guide from financial confusion to total strategic clarity. And we'll just leave you with this one last question. If you had this level of insight into your business tomorrow, what's the very first decision you'd make differently? Really think about that.